All right, coming down to the last couple seconds. We're getting ready to go live here with Coast to Coast. Get ready, hit the like and share button, and let's get this one out of the stable and up onto the track. Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coast. It's Tuesday night. Hope you're all doing well out there. Live from Hawaii. Not much going on here. It's my office as usual. Anyway, let's bring my wonderful co-host in, Michael Lichter from Boulder, Colorado.
From very cold Boulder, Colorado. It was 16 degrees when I got up this morning.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was 72 and I put a long sleeve shirt on.
Oh,
sorry.
Trying to make me feel bad, aren't you?
Sometimes, around the holidays.
Yeah. From a distance, right? That's about it.
Yeah, like out the window. No, I like to make snowballs and throw them at people and snow forts and stuff like that, It's funny, when I delivered mail, I used to keep snowballs in my mail bag. When the kids would try to bomb me with snowballs, I would bomb them back preemptively sometimes too. It was kind of fun. But
what'd you do to the dogs that were barking at? Our FedEx lady, she comes in and she brings her little dog treats with her all the time. So where's your doggy?
Yeah, I got attacked by a dachshund once. That was kind of interesting. And a German Shepherd. And a German Shepherd, he was really weird because he would bounce against the front window to try to get me, the big picture window. And one time he was actually out. Once he's out, he was okay, but then he started getting a little.
Anyway. A long time ago. You've had a number of lives, right?
Yeah,
I sure have.
Well, maybe I got 9. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, how was your week? What's interesting? How's your shoulder?
The shoulder's great. I'm doing great. Look, I could lift, but it's still sore as hell. And I got on the bike 2 weeks ago, but we've had snow on the ground since then. So not back on the bike since. Too bad. Hopefully soon. What I won't do in the winter, I won't ride in the mountains though. I mean, even if it's a nice day, too easy to get ice in the shadows, or you're for sure going to hit sand, wet sand. So I'll stay on the plains.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Well, we have a really cool show tonight. This is the one we tried to do a couple weeks ago, and there was a snowstorm in Pittsburgh that kind of knocked us off the air that week. But these ladies, more about because kind of your idea to do this show, really.
We put these ladies together just because I knew I knew Jill quite well for a long time, and Marilyn and Sukoshi. Deb, I didn't know, but I did know just from talking especially with Marilyn and Jill, that they have this weekly happy hour that they started in March, which was their response to COVID. And our 4 guests are all in the motorcycle industry. And so they started this little, little wine group or happy hour Tuesdays. And I thought, well, this is really cool. Why don't we just do that with them? And that's what we're here to do. So I think on that note, let's just bring in our first guest, Jill Parham.
Right on. Hey, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good to see you. And you're back in Iowa. You were in Texas visiting your son a couple weeks ago, and now you're back home, huh?
A couple of weeks ago. We have snow on the ground now, so you'd be liking it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
How much snow do you have on the ground
for
there?
The holidays.
I know you get on that tractor too, don't you? Have you been on there yet this year?
Oh yeah, last Saturday I spent about 5-6 hours on it.
Girl on her tractor. I love that. I love
so,
that. Cool.
Jill, just a brief introduction for the people that don't know who you are. You the other half of J&P, one of the founders. How many years ago was that, Jill?
41 years ago now. Yeah.
41 years ago, you used to
started,
travel around the
1979.
country and hand out your, that's incredible, all those catalogs that we remember from the swap meets. And then, of course, that grew and grew and grew. And now you've moved on to the National Motorcycle Museum, which is only a few short miles from your home.
Yes, it is. About 3 miles. I go in there every day to the
And what's your
museum,
title
and
there?
I'm actually president of the board of directors there, and I'm probably their biggest volunteer that they have for the most hours.
Oh, nice. Well, gosh,
That's
you know,
awesome.
Jill, I remember you and John. Probably you didn't know me then because I was just a scrawny little girl, but I used to go to your JP swap meets in Chicago, in the Chicago area
Oh,
in the
yeah.
late 70s.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they were so fun, I must say, you know, because in the wintertime, you know, we're all actually later on in life. But
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
We that's why we actually started JMP Cycles more or less, because we would, you know, do the promotions, which was JMP Promotions, and that's how we got our names and addresses, is doing all the swap meets. That's how we kind of
Wow.
started, and then then the promotions.
It's
be so
basically what
big.
people do now, collecting email addresses, right?
Yeah,
And except
yeah.
you went around and got how many
Mhm.
bikes in it are just from your own personal collection now?
Around 300 are in there. That we have over
Wow.
500 bikes in there, and about 300 are in John's collection, my collection. Yeah.
Wow,
So
that is something. So, you know what? Why don't we bring in our next guest and we'll do another brief introduction so we can kind of get to our happy hour.
Yeah. Let's bring them
All right, going on. There we go.
Yes.
Hey,
Good
Marilyn.
evening. Thanks for inviting us. This is so much fun.
Great to see you. So, where are you now?
I'm in North Carolina, so I'm in South Dakota about half the year. Sometimes it spills over towards 7 months. But I'm in my little house in Sturgis on the grounds of the Chip. And then when the weather starts to turn, I head back east to Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Well, I think
Yes.
you broke the rules a little bit, didn't you, Marilyn? On the somehow with a loft or.
Yeah, it's a not so tiny house. It's 480 square feet, but it's perfect for me. And if you have a house in
Wow.
Sturgis, you want to make sure it's small enough that nobody can come stay with you during rally,
I was
because
gonna-
you're working and you don't have
I was going to
anyone-
say, you could line them up in there like logs.
No,
Was that Dennis? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah.
no,
Text about
Ironworks.
Mhm.
we were working at a printing company together. That's where we met and fell in love. And we decided, we'd come home from dinner, every night after the printing company, and kind of sit at the dining room table and say, oh, what could we do? Because we were tired of working for other people. And Dennis had an entrepreneurial spirit. So he came up with crazier ideas than a motorcycle magazine. I can promise
Oh,
you that. So I was
There's the
feeling pretty
picture.
happy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's still
did you
embarrassing.
stay at the printing company?
I stayed at the printing company for about a year and a half while he got the magazine started, because we needed income. We had a 1-year-old child at the time. So it made sense to have, a little stable income, because, publishing, you certainly know, Cris, you don't make any money in the motorcycle industry publishing them.
All right. Yeah, Chris Cal and I both could tell. Go ahead,
That-
Chris. You got that
Definitely.
gun cocked.
That happens to be our one photograph with Dennis in it, I believe, right there. A very
Yeah, yeah.
dramatic photograph looking through a frame.
Of
So
course,
where's your
he was
guy?
very
Did you
creative.
guys have a background in motorcycling? Well, I mean, tell me
He
about
did.
that. How did?
Yeah, he
Dennis
had a
did?
couple of shops over the years and realized he
Mhm.
was never going to make any money having a shop, because his buddies just came and hung out and wouldn't let him get any work done. But I had the journalism degree, and he was a graphic designer and a very artsy guy. So
Oh.
between us, we were dumb enough to think we could do it. It's kind of how it shook out.
Now, I'm sorry, do you consider yourself more of a consultant now? I know a big part of your work is for the Buffalo Chip, but I
do.
know you're also involved with a lot of other events as well. So do you consider yourself a consultant or?
Yeah, I think my roots are really in writing and editing and photography. It's what I love to do. And I'm such a word nerd. I can never get too far away from writing articles. So I do a lot of freelance for consumer mags and the dealer publications as well. My most recent one is going to be in Freeway magazine. I just got the proofs from it, but it's in French, so I really can't tell what I wrote, but it looks nice.
Those are the best ones to me. I used to write for the Hot Bike Japan for 14 years. I had a column in there, and I never got to read it. And it was fine with me. I know what I said, but I didn't know anyone who could read it. That's awesome, though.
What's the story on In Freeway?
Oh, it's King of the
In the-
Baggers from the event at Laguna Seca.
Oh,
nice.
wow. From the new race,
Yeah,
the new
yeah, the
race
drag
series.
specialties thing.
Oh, maybe we'll talk a little bit about that during
Sukoshi.
Hi.
How you doing,
It isn't really
Sukoshi?
it isn't really this snowy in Canada, but
Oh,
And I know you are in a beautiful, beautiful place up there in BC, right?
yes, I'm on the Sunshine Coast, which is north of Vancouver, and you have to take a ferry to get here, but it's
Sukoshi, I think you and I must have met. When did you start with Avon?
I started with Avon in 2001, and before that I worked with Metzler and Pirelli for many, many years. So
I don't know if
tires
I
are
did.
my-
I know you from. Did I know you from Metzler, or did we meet through
Yeah.
Avon?
Metzler. The Metzler
Metzler, so it was
days.
back in the 90s. Wow, so I have known you for a while.
Yes.
Expected to meet a Japanese woman named Sukoshi,
yeah, Sukoshi.
and so I
And then they go,
love your
you don't
name.
have slanty
and-
eyes and you don't have dark hair.
You know, what's great is that I grew up with the word a skosh, and a lot of people don't know that word. But in growing up Jewish in New York and Sunday brunches and whatnot, you'd have a little skosh of something.
He got back from the Korean War. He had learned some Japanese, and when he saw me, I was just 3 months old, and he said she's Sukoshi, so it stuck.
Sukoshi.
Wow.
Yep, means a little bit.
That's
Yep.
great. I love it.
That's awesome.
So, and I guess you left Avon about 2 years ago, is it, and started consulting?
No, I just left Avon in
Germany, that we met up there.
yeah.
So
and
you
I
have a
have a
whole,
shot of
whole new
you.
career now.
You're
we'll
the
get to
tire. You're the tire lady in my eyes.
Yeah,
If I need to talk about tires, I know who to go to.
she knows tires. Well,
Awesome.
let's go ahead and bring Deb on now. We'll have our fourth guest and a full house then for our happy hour.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Deb, where are you hailing from?
Right now, I'm in my office in Oceanside, California. Nelson Riggs in Orange County, California.
Wow.
Nice. How long you been with them?
I've been 6 years. I've been in the industry. I'm a short timer. I've only been in the industry 18 years.
So where were you before
I'm
Nelson
honored to
Riggs?
know all these ladies.
Where were you?
Dowco Power Sports.
Cool. And I guess why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do there at
I'm the
work these
director-
days?
Yeah, Director of
which I'm
Business
sure-
Development. So it's working with our aftermarket side because it's Nelson Rig does covers and luggage and rain gear. And so it's all through distribution, Parts Unlimited, Western Power Sports, Southern Motorcycle Supply, Sullivan's down on the East Coast. And then the other hat I wear is on the OEM side. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Nelson Rig is one of the preeminent builders for a lot of the OEMs in the industry, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Triumph, BMW, and we do custom design of some of their accessories, products, covers, luggage. It's a lot of
Wow.
fun. So I'm honored. I get to play with toys every day.
So does that mean if you're doing something for a Japanese manufacturer, do you actually ship your stuff to Japan, or is it only on the shut up and see all four guests together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how you guys started doing this weekly thing. Whose idea was it? I think it's great during the COVID thing. Everybody's home, and to be able to connect and to be able to stay connected and hang out and I think it's really cool.
Whose idea was it? And why don't you tell us about how you came up with it?
Just did well on the wine part of it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just used to doing Zoom meetings from Toastmasters and doing webinars for work. And I just thought it'd be fun to get us together and catch up since we couldn't see each other in person like we normally do. And we all like to drink wine and other things. So sometimes
Yeah, and I got the
Well, it worked
a
very
little
well. We
shy
have a
like
good
that.
four-shot now, right? But I think that's really fascinating because I think you started very early in COVID, because I think it took people a few months to catch on to the value of Zoom and some of the other channels for networking, and you guys hit it right early, got on it.
This has been our
Did
coping
all-
mechanism. I mean, speaking for me, just getting together with these women and talk has just changed it forever. You know, it's just
Oh.
things will change. Hopefully, you know, we'll all get to see each other for real again. But this time that we've spent connecting and bonding, you know, that's really going to solidify our friendship, I think, forever.
Cheers to
I
that.
Very
know.
cool.
Cheers to
I'm
that.
so jealous. I think this is a wonderful,
Come
wonderful
on,
thing.
ladies.
I have tea.
Marilyn-
I'm going to toast you with my tea tonight. But Mike's drinking some
Marilyn was the
coffee.
only
But we
one
got
that
to do the
went,
same
yeah.
thing to stay connected. You know, I think it's so important right now that people are losing their connections with people and their families and stuff. So
You know, it's funny because I see my kids. I work with my son Sean, who unfortunately got COVID, so he was kind of out of commission for about 4 weeks. But he came in today. He's clean and back. But so I see them, but you know, what would have been my dad's 99th birthday, and so it was niece and nephew, and it was really cool. I hadn't seen them in a long, long time, and we normally get together on the same day as a family. And here it was the opportunity, and it worked really well. I mean, we need to do it again and more often for sure.
That's true.
yeah, and you did your Thanksgiving like that too, didn't
And
you?
we did our Thanksgiving like that, and so we call.
Oh yeah, definitely with family. And you know,
Yeah.
even when Jill's been traveling to her family some, but she still connects with us when she's there. So and Deb has connected from the car when she's coming home from work. I mean, we have found a way to-
Don't say that. Don't
And,
say that.
and
I'm a safe-
Marilyn has
I'm a safe
actually
driver.
stayed here on her way to Sturgis and her way back to Sturgis. It's a great
Our
country.
home. Yes, that
Yeah.
was very brave, Jill. I didn't get
Well,
COVID till I got home, and that was not at your house.
No.
Well, if I had an excuse to come by there, I'd come by too as well, Jill. You have a beautiful place there, certainly.
Thank you.
Very much.
Gorgeous, yeah.
And she can drive her tractor and power snow.
You know, I remember the first time going to J&P, and I was riding home from one of the Harley sign for J&P. I had no idea. I didn't know where I was. It was pre-smartphone, so I was definitely using maps. But you know, I was just heading in that direction. I didn't look all that close. And I remember stopping the first time and thought how great that was. That it was right there.
It's a
Great
great
stopping point for anyone that's traveling around the country. And
Yeah.
even if it
Yep.
means a detour, people need to stop in there and visit.
It's a wonderful place. I just love all the toys. There's just bobber, and it's on the 31st, and I haven't gotten my tickets yet, and I'm mailing them tomorrow right here. So,
Cool.
just so you know,
That,
I'm not
that
forgetting
bike
you
Perfect.
guys.
that bike was actually built at JMP Cycles, and we
Right.
actually gave it away once through the National Motorcycle Museum, and the winner did not want it. He wasn't really a motorcycle person, but just signed up for the raffle. So John bought it back, donating one of my bikes for them to raffle off because it's to a great cause, and so it keeps the museum going. So yeah.
Does that mean
We
one of
had-
the bikes in the collection that's on display?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, one of my bikes is, so next year will be a 46 knuckle.
Ooh,
Whoa!
for next
Wow!
year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boy, those raffle tickets are going to go flying.
Yeah, it's just such a great cause, you know.
Yeah.
That's
It's
for
a
Chris,
everybody,
I'm sure
right?
you guys must remember all the J&P open houses. You know, that's when I first went to
Mhm.
J&P Cycles in Anamosa, and those were amazing events. You know,
Right.
they
Absolutely. Boy, that got a lot of
thousands.
people there.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
vintage days, my favorite, the vintage days, of course.
Right.
It's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we stopped on the Cannonball. That was fun too. Coming
Oh,
through
the
there, I think
Cannonball
in
was one of the better
22.
days we ever had. Yeah, when they stopped.
Yeah,
Oh,
at
that was awesome.
Out, you know.
That was a
We
great
had-
stop.
We actually had
Jill,
two Cannonball stop. Yeah. Two
I'm
di-
curious, did
and-
Anamosa, after J&P pulled out of Anamosa, I'm sure that hurt the town, but has it recovered from that? Or was it a setback that
retail-
lasted a year or two, or what was that like for the town?
The retail store is still here in Anamosa. So the retail store is here in Anamosa, and so it did hurt Anamosa. But
Yeah.
we so you know, there's not much I could do about that, I guess. But
No, it's the way
I'd
it
be
is.
disappointed,
Of
but
course.
JMP is
Well, you and John were both from Anamosa, right, Jill? I know John
I
was
actually
from.
from
Were
the
you from
rivalry
Anamosa?
town. He was from Anamosa, and I was from the rivalry town, 10 miles north of here. So
Ah,
Wow.
years old, and
Oh my
went
goodness.
together for like 3 years, and then we got married when we were 20. And
oh my gosh.
he started JMP Cycles. Well, he actually started D&J Cycles that first year when we were first married, and then later on, 2 years later, did JMP Cycles. So yeah, we both worked other jobs, you know, while we were doing it, and it was hard in the early days, but we survived, and we both were on there together, and so it worked out great. You know, we both had our different strengths. You know, with JMP, him being the entrepreneur, me being the accounting side, trying to hold him back.
Good luck keeping them from buying bikes,
story.
right?
If you've ever been married to an entrepreneur,
John. So yeah.
So,
When
Sukoshi,
Ironworks
now,
was quite young. I just tell you real quick, when
Yeah.
Ironworks was quite young, we went out to Cleveland to a JMP parts extravaganza, and we were so dumb. We just thought we could show up and exhibit. And John came out and met us and went away for a minute and then came back, and Kay.
I wonder who that was.
A woman.
Now, is that when you were promoting the magazine, Iron
Yeah,
Trader?
we were young and dumb and had no idea we were supposed to make prior arrangements, so we just showed up. But he was kind enough to give us a spot. It was just like, don't tell my wife. I just like
I was the rules and regulation person in the company.
to excuse that
So,
interruption, but
Sukoshi, what are your plans? You're living in this gorgeous, gorgeous area. I know it's not an island, but it kind of looks like an island surrounded by water. And what's it like up there? Are you going to have to travel for work, or is now with all your new strengths that you've achieved over this last year with all the virtual things that we could do, what are your plans for the
Mix of combining my knowledge of the power sport industry, but also helping people. I found that I really like to help people when it's improving their LinkedIn or their resume, or making something simple for a company, whether it's presentation. I'm really good at creating templates to make, guidelines, editing. I hate technical, but for the average person to put together that stupid IKEA piece with bad instructions.
Now, are you going to go to motorcycle events or to any of the industry events that you used to go to?
I'm not sure how it's going to fall out. I'm going to offer my services to the various motorcycle companies out there. And if they want to utilize them, then we'll just party.
What do you think the next event, let's say we come out of this in summertime, maybe all the events are back going. What event do you think you all four may meet at then?
Bike week.
Bike week,
Daytona.
probably.
Daytona. That's I'm hoping.
yeah, they
Okay,
may
well, that's less than 4 months away.
Yeah.
I think
It's-
Sturgis will be really big. I mean, by then, I think the vaccine will be pretty widespread and at least enough so that chances of catching it are going to be slim. I think it's going to be huge. We'll see. We never know, right?
Right.
Deb,
Never know.
Deb, when you go to a place like Sturgis, what do you do in Sturgis, Deb?
Well, I'm working as a brand rep to sell the product and be there on the site, and it's a second family. It really is, and it's so much fun, and it's not work. It's fun.
So do you set up one of the?
Don't tell my boss. Don't tell my boss.
Do you set up a tent outside, or are you inside the store? How do you do that?
No, I'm always underneath the JMP truck, and they're on the. They've got an awning and the truck.
And they have one of your displays with a lot of your product there?
Right. Yeah. We set up a whole, it's almost like a mini store. Each supplier has a mini store area.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Gotcha.
So she
I
just
spent
sells.
She's a selling machine.
Most of your products user installed? It's just a bag you
Yes.
put on, or anything needs more installation than that?
Yeah, motorcycle covers, saddlebags, tank bags. We get the riders that come up and drive right onto the parking lot at J&P. They always ask, well, I don't know how to install this. Can you install it for me? And then you end up doing it for them.
There you go.
Which is fun.
So, and you're working out of Southern California, which is really mecca for motorcycling, right?
It is. Yeah, it is. And it's really been, a whole change of pace, not tree in Kentucky. And that was the last time I saw her in Maryland. And then, and then Jill, she and I saw each other in Daytona, and then we're poof. So,
Oh my God, it's gonna be so weird to see each other in person. I don't know how I'm gonna react. I'm probably gonna cry when I see people.
Right.
Like, oh my God. You know, it's like, what's it
I
gonna
just
be
want to
like?
be
You
able
know?
to hug people.
I mean,
Saved
it's
us.
certainly going to be a
Yeah.
great thing, but maybe it won't be as strange as it could have been, right?
Yeah, because you're all caught up, right? You're caught up with
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
our second meeting was Skoshi's birthday, so we've celebrated pretty much everybody's birthday online.
Yeah.
And other events, we zoomed with Marilyn while she was at Sturgis.
Break,
coming
if
up.
that's okay.
Yeah,
Hold
yes.
that thought. We're kind of it's a halfway point here. I think we'll take a break now, Mike, and come
Perfect.
back and talk about more stuff, what you guys or girls are going to be doing in the future. So we'll be right back. Hang on, you guys. Sorry.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm with Banks Brothers Motorcycles. One of the things I want to show you today is our new improved engine puller.
The changes to this machine has been in the arms and in the hands. We put hind joints in the hand to allow rotation of the engine, which makes it easier to get it in and out of the frame. With the angle change, we have equal clamping pressure on them. And over here we have what's called the posi lock, which allows this to be locked in place and the engine can't swing from side to side.
And we're going to show you just how easy it is to pull the motor out of the bike right now. George is actually going to come in, make contact with the cylinders, tighten it down, and pull it out of there.
You lift it up, rotate it, and bring the assembly out of the frame. You see the motor starting to move and it centers itself. This allows no side play once the motor's in place, and it keeps it safe. It can't fall out.
Visit BanksBrothersMotorcycles.com to order your Banks lift.
Hey, this is Chris from Cycle Source Magazine, and I want to thank you for watching the flagship show of the Source Media Group, Shop Talk. We go live with Shop Talk every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's only one of the many programs we offer from Source Media. In addition to that, Wednesday nights we have Cannonball Chronicles that looks into the life and times of Cannonball racers as they prepare for this year's Motorcycle Cannonball. Thursday night we have Bike Night Live that dives into the culture of bike night, the food, the bikes, and the fun of hanging out with friends, and we even have some live entertainment. Sunday morning, Cyber Swap kicks off, where we have a sort of home shopping network approach to motorcycle swap meets, and we bring guys on that have parts to sell live right there. All of this in addition to our staple programs, which are Grease and Gears TV, live on the street from the events and rallies, Grease and Gears Garage, and Grease and Gears Garage Roadshow. We look forward to bringing more of this type of programming to you from the home of Two Wheel Entertainment, the Source Media Group.
And we're back. I hope we're back. I think we had some glitches thing going on there for a while. Is everybody here? I hope so. I wanted to say before we get too forgetful here that Jill and Marilyn are both in the Sturgis Hall of Fame. I wanted to bring that up and congratulate them. And,
Thank you.
Yeah, that's so cool. I know.
It must have
really
been
cool having
wine
you guys
night
in
at the board meeting that day.
No,
Mm-mm.
Well,
but
you're kind, Chris, 'cause
Mike, are
we're
you
into
still
it
with us? I
you.
think you are.
Yes, I am. I was just checking out some of the comments from
Oh, yeah.
around the country, and people are saying hello to our guests. There's a few cannonballers like Bill Redensel, and I saw a couple of others. I can't.
Bill Page.
Joe
Page.
Ferry. Anyway, it's all
Robbie
nice.
Newsom. Yep, everybody's on there.
Yep.
I don't know. I cut somebody off.
You're
You know,
talking
one
about
thing I'm curious
celebrating
about is
birthdays, and Marilyn's
Yeah.
birthday
what's
is
up. I
next.
know we're going through birthdays through COVID, and you're doing that online. But what about other changes now? Sukoshi, did you actually move during COVID during the last 8-10 months?
He should write a book on moving to Canada.
Yeah, well, I think that's been the great part about looking for a place in Canada. And then when I moved back up, and thank God for these lovely ladies, because without them, I wouldn't know what was happening in the industry, or I would have really lost touch. But they have kept me abreast of every event, everybody, whatever has happened to anybody. And unfortunately, I know we just lost Don Graves. I guess yesterday, dancing. I mean,
Yeah,
so
it was.
you know, he was just an amazing guy, and I just wanted to give a shout out to him. And I'm glad he just passed in his sleep and not because of COVID. So, but thank you, ladies, for doing that. And during the move, yeah, that was the most stressful move I have ever done in my life, and I never want to repeat it.
Where did you move from?
Dio, which is the jumping off point to the San Juan Islands. And but what made it very difficult was anytime you tried to call anybody to get anything done, like a hookup or internet connection, it was usually about anywhere from 1 to 8 hours on the phone to get something done. Getting, you know, my car across the border, that was 3 and the hard part here is they don't deliver over to the Sunshine Coast for any kind of furniture. And I unfortunately made the decision to just sell all my furniture and start fresh. So I am still waiting for a dining room table. It'll be, you know, same thing with a bed. It might come at the end of next month.
But I'm sure Santa Claus knows
Well, we
where
should
that
mention
is.
this, right?
Yeah. I gave up my green card when I moved back. So that was, not sure if I'll regret it or not, but
Why did you have to give it up?
because once you're not working in the States, I could have kept it for a few months, but I just thought I didn't know with COVID, you don't know whether you're going to be able to go back down to the, well, no, I didn't have to leave. I mean, I was fine working in the States, but I didn't like having the border separating me from my family. Yeah, every time I would have come up, I would have had to quarantine, and that was just not what I wanted to do. So,
But now we got Zoom. So
yeah.
Gotcha.
And at some point, she thinks we're all coming up there to visit.
That sounds awesome.
I would go.
I'm looking forward to paddle boarding in a witch's outfit.
In a witch's outfit, that's right.
Yeah, and Halloween.
I'll tell you, that's one place I could be jealous of living is right where you are. I remember going by it. We were on a boat going to Alaska in the Inner Passageway. It was just a small boat, but I'm sure we went by your town there because it was spectacular. Peaceful, I must say also.
Gosh has been our technical expert. She's the one that schooled all of us in Zoom and how to figure things out and make it all work. So we took the skills that she taught us and implemented them in the rest of our business life. And she had to put up with all of our fumbling.
Wow. You know, I'm sure you
she's a good
bouncing
organizer.
ideas, leaving Avon just in February. My goodness, just weeks before the shutdown. So certainly that was the biggest change. And you've been dealing with what you're going to be doing the whole time. But what about for the 3 others? Do you have any plans like, I don't know, any possibilities of changing what you're doing, looking somewhere else, or changing your careers in any way? Or do you expect to go back just where they left off?
Add a little more. And so, you know, getting back together at live events is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well,
but what about in terms of career and your paths that way?
No change for me that I perceive. How about you guys?
No change where I'm at right now, but we've really missed out on events because that was a big thing for the museum and our promotion. George, and he worked for us at JMP Cycles also. He passed in October, and so that was a big loss for us. But we've had to shut down the banquet hall because of COVID. So we usually had 75 events in there in a year's time, and so we've shut that down. We were shut for 2.5 months, so we've had to do a lot more on the website, that and promote ourselves more on the website and having people, because we've lost a lot of the admissions coming into the museum because of COVID. So
I think people are going to be back strong, like Mike said
I think so
before.
too. They've really
really
missed
Yeah,
it.
it's been incredibly busy. I
Definitely.
think the whole idea of social distancing and the beauty of that has really reinvigorated the power sports industry. We've been crazy busy, and our distributors have been crazy busy, and I'm loving the fact that people realize now that they can put their cell phones down and they can go out and get back on a motorcycle or back on a UTV or ATV. Or go out and go camping and then really be with their families and remember what this industry is built on, and that I think that energy is going to take a long time to dissipate, shall we say.
How have sales compared to years before for Deb?
We're doing very well. Yeah, we're doing very well.
Yeah,
So
actually, tell me that the industry. I've talked to some other people in the industry, like some, the Ness family and stuff. They're doing really well right now too. It's like they're selling stuff, so a lot of parts. I think people are really working on their bikes, and
they
they're
are
home more. And so
JMP Cycles has had a great year. People want to spend some money. They don't have anything else to spend money on, so they want to just buy something. So that's been good, and the raffle's been good this year. So that's great.
Great.
For the first time ever, I actually wrote an event article for an event I did not attend. That was a little weird, but I did it. That was new. I hope I don't keep doing that. I'd much rather be there,
It doesn't sound like things are going to change too much for the four of you, but it's certainly for a lot of the other rest of the world, it's changing. I'm curious. Let's say you're saying people are spending more time in their shops, working on their bikes, buying parts and building bikes and out riding and doing things that they can do now. And I wonder for them if we'll see change and how that'll affect business and other things. I mean, I'm curious. A lot of people may say, I don't want to living.
Yeah. Some
businesses
they're going to start letting people work from home more too.
Big cities.
Yeah. Has it been different for you, Cris and Michael? I mean, Cris, you're all the way in Hawaii, and I mean, I guess.
My life is totally different. My husband has never been home this much in 50 years. You kidding? I mean, we've never. We're usually on the road all summer and playing shows and going all over the world and places. And now we just, we go to, he's doing a lot of stuff around the house. He did a show with my son a couple weeks ago. They did a live, I think it was December 5th.
I watched that. That was good. It was good.
Thing here. So they've been doing some music and stuff. And we have those twins next door, their 1-year-old and our 4-year-old grandson. So we've been busy with kids. But yeah, our life is totally, we don't even know, the music industry is probably going to be one of the last ones that comes back. Unfortunately, live music. How are you going to go to concerts? You're going to wait for everybody to get the vaccine. It'll be the 51st anniversary, but
I want some.
Yeah.
I think they should still call it the 50th, Cris.
Yeah, I think they'll just skip the year there.
Yeah, just say it's still the 50th anniversary. Now, on my end, you could imagine, you guys know me well enough, I'd be tough to spend a lot of time around, so I'm driving Catherine nuts. She probably can't wait for me to get on an airplane.
I'm surprised she hasn't gotten
I haven't been anywhere since Siberia. And it's funny because the week before the shutdown, I came back. Sean and I were there together photographing, and that's it. Yeah,
that's about as far as you can get.
That's about as far as you can get. That's true.
Wow.
Can you imagine from Moscow? It was an overnight flight just to go to Siberia, to the town we went to, and that's not even all the way across Russia, which is 13 times.
You're lucky you got back into the United States.
Wi-Fi.
Who knows? I could have been Zooming with my wife, unable to get back, right?
There you go.
Yeah, you could have been like Kiwi Mike.
Stuck in.
Kiwi Mike.
He just got back, right?
Yeah.
Who did?
Mike
Kiwi.
Oh, right.
They were stuck in
Although
Australia.
I think he really just wanted to stay there longer. I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh, maybe.
He seemed to be having a great time to, like, I love the early shots of Marilyn. There's 2 black and whites. I know.
We got to show Marilyn.
We got to bring those up again. Those are so wonderful. Now that people have gotten to know you through the hour.
Yeah, when I came
If,
into the house with my hair that big, my children ran and screamed and hid behind the sofa. So
That's
That's awesome.
There it
Oh,
is.
come
That's
on. That's
awesome.
great. Look at you.
There's a sex pod
Oh,
there,
yeah.
Marilyn.
That's great.
It's
And
so
then there's a
funny
shot
when-
of you and Dennis together. That one as well.
yeah,
Very cool.
I like that one.
And I must say, the shots of Sukoshi, those first two shots, man, I want to know that story there, Sukoshi. You got to tell me that one.
oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, nice.
What is the
Well,
story there?
I worked for the Steen Hansen's. I worked for the importer in Canada, who was the Husqvarna motorcycles, and also they were the Pirelli importer, which is where I got my, initiation into tires. And
Wow.
back in the day, you wore high heels to shows. I mean, you can't see the high heels in that picture, but they were high heels.
Well, that was
Just
your
in that
that was
short
your
skirt.
that was your
Right?
cheerleading picture. But I also like the Summer of Love picture with your frizzy hair. That next
that
shot.
was
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
year was that? Was it the Summer of Love?
Oh gosh, that would have been, that was in the 80s. That was probably just before I started refereeing. I reffed road race, but I hadn't refereed motocross until I started Steen Hansen's. They were also, obviously all the family was a big motocross family. So once I got into that, I started also refereeing motocross, ice racing.
I like the bike in the background too. The bike in the
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's
And for
There you
any of
go.
our
I'll
listeners
see your
that
hair, Marilyn, and one up you.
Those are the big hair
we
days.
have
The big
Okay.
hair.
I'll
we
call
have
you
two
because I'm
shots
not going
of,
back there.
we have two shots of Jill's son Zach that are really awesome because
Oh, yeah.
here he is. I believe I assume he's the president of J&P now. Is that his title, Jill?
He's got a different title now. It's more in the merchandising side of it, but with the new company owning them. But he loves his position, so he's doing really well.
Well,
And this is the
there
one
he is,
bike I
a
told
lot younger, but then there's a shot of him a lot younger than this.
Yeah. On the same
on
bike. I
it's-
believe.
and it's so cool on the
Same
same
bike.
bike. That is
It's the
really
one bike I
cool.
told him he can't ever
There it
sell.
is.
Oh,
It's too late. Well, there's two bikes
Wow.
I won't let him sell. The 1911 Merkel and the Vanhead. He can't sell either one of them. He has to
Right.
keep
Can't
those
sell 'em.
forever.
I love John's mustache in that picture too.
Oh, I
It's
know.
awesome.
Very
His
cool.
dark hair, his darker hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, we all need to get some raffle tickets and keep the museum healthy.
I
Right.
know.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. I got mine right here.
When are they picking the raffle ticket?
December
On the-
31st.
On December 31st. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're running out of time.
Oh.
There we go.
My grandkids love coming home, so I have to have a home for them to come to. And I love my 45
Aw.
acres here, even though it takes me a lot of work to plow that with my tractor, but I love living here. So it's a real quick flight for me down there, 2 hours the most. And so
Yeah.
I could just jump on a flight and get there or
That's
drive.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I must say that's what we should have requested, a picture on the tractor.
I know. I do video for my grandkids because they love me being in the tractor.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
fun to see Corey Ring on here, and I see Pan Man Ray. It's so fun that people connect. You guys do such a great show.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, we got all kinds of people. Joe Sparrow. Hey, Joe.
Oh, it's cool.
Oh.
Alan Stolber
Yeah.
from Revival Cycles is on.
Mhm.
Rob Nussbaum says, cold ass Western New York checking in, and it must be cold. Bill Redensel sends his love to Jill also. A lot of
Yeah.
people checking in. You guys will have to watch this back and see all the comments.
Yeah, be good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we miss our
so cool to
friends.
have you all on.
Yeah.
What are you all
thanks.
drinking
Thank you
tonight?
for asking us.
Yeah. Who's
I have a
drinking
nice
wine? I know.
Albarino. I know it's white.
Ah,
Oh.
he's so California.
No, it was what was cold.
Very cool.
Happy early birthday, Marilyn. Corey Ring says.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
Early
all.
birthday.
I'm going to
Tomorrow,
start going the other
tomorrow.
direction now. Can I
Happy
start getting
21st.
out?
Happy birthday. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
I
Well, thank
know.
you all for coming. This has just been,
About this week.
yeah, he wants to join.
Well, we're dressing
We'll
up
do a
for Christmas
recap.
next week. You got to wear an ugly Christmas sweater next week, Michael, if
Yeah.
you're on.
Yeah, and you
I'm
guys
sure I
have
could dig one
Christmas-
up.
Christmas
All
baskets.
We're gonna
right,
do something
ladies.
for our show next week, Mike. We should do something Christmassy. Find your ugly sweater.
That's it.
There we
Yeah,
go.
you
We
do an
will have
ugly
to do
sweater.
that.
Thank you
Anyway,
so much.
Bye-bye.
Merry
We hope you sell a
Christmas.
lot of
Merry
raffle
Christmas,
tickets through it, right?
everyone.
Yeah, sell raffle
Yeah.
tickets.
Yeah, sell raffle tickets.
All right. Thanks so
Thanks,
much.
All right, you guys take care. See
Bye-bye.
y'all. Oh my God, how fun is that? That was
That's
so
sweet.
cool.
That's really cool how they've been doing this for, what is that now? It's over 9 months, right?
I can't believe we're sitting here 9 months later. We're
I know.
talking about this stuff. But I think it's great. I want to do that with some more of my friends too. I mean, we should start doing
Actually,
that.
I've done a couple that are kind of cool with people in town here that we're still distancing and whatnot. And a couple times I dropped off a bottle of wine that was the same bottle that we were drinking. And I
my
made some appetizers that I dropped off. I made some
Oh
of my Sicilian caponata, and I dropped that off with some cheese to go with it and little condiments. And then we had our happy hour drinking the same wine and eating the same
Oh, that's so cool.
stuff.
I know.
It was
You
kinda
told me
cool.
that. I was so jealous. I was like, well, drop it off at my house. Get on the airplane.
I'll have to put it in FedEx frozen and it should be
Yeah,
there
right.
just in time.
Dry
I'll
ice.
have to-
Send me
so I'll
some
have to-
vaccine too.
I'll just go grab the dry ice off of the vaccine that they're throwing away, right?
Yeah, right. Well,
All right.
I think we have a good. That was a fun show. Next week's going to be another fun. I don't know if we want to talk about next week or we just want to wait and talk about it
I think
later.
we're not totally sure on it. So let's
Okay, we'll wait then.
let's wait on that.
Yeah.
Let's wait on that one. We'll dial it in a little bit better.
Okay.
And hey, we got to thank a few people, our sponsors, and certainly our wonderful engineer, wizard behind the desk, the controls.
Our
Chris
sound effects
Allen.
guru. I love the sound effects, Chris.
Yes, the man behind Cycle Source magazine and all that Cycle Source does, and there are many
And
other
Heather.
shows, and Heather
Heather's
alongside
awesome.
Heather
Yeah.
Callan, and who else do we need to thank? In addition to our sponsors, certainly.
Yeah. Thanks to our guests. Thanks for everybody who comments and likes the show and shares it. And I want to say hi to my dad because I hope he's still awake watching. There it is. Let's saddle it up. As my dad used to say, we're going to saddle up. Anyway, have a great week, everybody. Be kind, stay safe. Anything else you want to say, Mike, before we sign off?
No, let's get out there. Those of you in the warm places, get out there and ride and enjoy it for me, please. Enjoy it for me. And as soon as that snow melts, I'll be out there again, even if it's cold. I'm going to put on my Nepal gear and be out there. I'm determined.
There you go. And you're not in Siberia, so.
That's right. I saw how they do it there. I could do it in Colorado, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Coast to
See you
coast.
next week,
Signing off.
Chris.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Mike.
Bye-bye.